On behalf of Texas taxpayers, the Office of Inspector General, OIG, is responsible for investigating fraud, waste, and abuse in the provision and delivery of all health and human services in the state. This video gives an overview of the OIG payment hold process. A payment hold temporarily denies reimbursement under Medicaid for items or services furnished by a provider until a matter in dispute between the provider and HHSC is resolved. OIG institutes a payment hold to reduce an ongoing financial risk to the state. Unless an exception applies, OIG is required by law to impose a payment hold. 1. To compel the production of records. 2. When requested by the Office of Attorney General's Medicaid Fraud Control Unit. 3. On the determination that a credible allegation of fraud exists. A credible allegation of fraud is an allegation that is verified by the state. OIG carefully reviews all allegations, facts, and evidence, and verifies the allegation has an indicia of reliability. OIG acts judiciously on a case-by-case basis. Before imposing a payment hold, OIG must consider whether continuing to pay the provider presents an ongoing significant financial risk to the state and a threat to the integrity of Medicaid. OIG does not impose a payment hold on claims submitted by a provider for medically necessary services that received prior authorization from HHSC or an HHSC contractor, unless there is evidence the provider materially misrepresented documentation related to those services. When OIG determines a credible allegation of fraud exists, OIG may still find good cause exists not to impose a payment hold, to discontinue a payment hold, to impose a partial payment hold, or to convert a full payment hold to a partial payment hold. Some circumstances in which the OIG might find good cause not to impose or to adjust a payment hold are: 1. A request from law enforcement because a payment hold might jeopardize an investigation. 2. Alternative available remedies would be more effective in protecting Medicaid funds. 3. OIG determines, based on written evidence submitted by the provider, the payment hold should be removed. 4. A payment hold would jeopardize a Medicaid recipient's access to Medicaid items or services because the provider is the sole community physician or sole source of essential specialized services in a community, or the provider serves a large number of beneficiaries within a designated medically underserved area. 5. OIG determines that a payment hold is not in the best interests of Medicaid. In circumstances in which investigative findings are based on medical necessity or the quality of medical care, the OIG medical director, or dental director when applicable, ensures the findings are reviewed by a qualified expert before OIG imposes a payment hold. In accordance with state and federal law, OIG notifies a provider in most circumstances when it imposes a payment hold on the provider. The OIG notice includes a specific basis for the payment hold, a description of the provider's due process rights to defend against the payment hold, and a detailed timeline for the provider to pursue his or her due process rights. The law requiring OIG to institute payment holds can be found at Texas Government Code, Section 531.102, G2, 1 Texas Administrative Code, Section 371.1709, and 42 Code of Federal Regulations, Sections 455.23. Thank you for watching this presentation. For additional information, please visit the OIG website.